Okay, so we're going to talk about inheritance in this video and do some examples of how inheritance works. So first of all, I'm going to set up a new project. I'm in NetBeans and I'm going to choose File, New Project, Java Project. We've done this before. What we haven't done before is I'm going to start being more aware of packages. So let's type in, we're going to do inheritance example. And I'm going to click on Finish. Okay, so now we're going to start to see this concept. We're going to start to use packages a little bit more. And the idea behind packages is simply that it's if I look in, I'm going to look in my File Explorer, and I look up my inheritance example, which is here. I now have in my source folder a folder called inheritance example, which is also the same as my package name. So the package name is really a word for a directory or a folder. And anything that's in this folder can see each other. So any Java source code that's all in this packages should potentially be able to see each other. So let us use this idea to create a new class. I'm going to create an animal class. So I'm going to right click on my package name and choose New Java Class. And I'm going to call this one an animal. We're going to create an animal class. It's going to go in the same package. So it'll also have the package name. And that should now appear in, yep, sure it does. So now I have two files in my package or in my folder. You'll notice that the package name is at the top. I can't put something else on top of here, like an import statement can't go here. Package has to be the very first line. So I'll erase my little error there. So the very first thing on each of these files needs to be the package, and so that they can see each other. So now that I have this public class animal, my main should be able to see it. Let's see if I can put these side by side in such a way that we can see. There we go. There we go. Okay. So now that we've set up in other words, let's see. So now that I have the animal here, I should be able to see animal, and in fact I do. Animal, there we go. Okay, so I don't get any squiggly red lines because it says, oh, we're in the same package. I can find the animal class and I know where to access it to use it. Okay, super. All right, so let's think about what generically an animal might have. Let's think of properties. Obviously, a fish can swim, a lion can't, so that's not very generic. So the idea behind this animal class is things that are not specific, but general to all animals. Or for example, I would assume that all animals, I'm going to make these all private. Oh, let's just say int, all animals most likely have an age, some type, 2 days, an hour, 5 years, 25 years, I don't know. Okay. Potentially, let's do a string. Let's say all animals have an activity. In other words, are they diurnal or nocturnal? That's a fancy word, makes me sound smart. Okay. Let's also say that they all have a dietary, I don't know how else to word this, but a dietary habit. Are they herbivores, carnivores, that kind of thing? Okay. So we have talked about the fact that in order to not make these fields accessible outside of the class, we want to make them private, and we also therefore will need getters and setters. So I think you might enjoy this little trick that I'm going to show you. I'm going to right click on any of these attributes and I'm going to choose Insert Code. Now you'll see that it can insert some what are called stubs or snippets for me, snippets of code. Constructor, getter, setter, getter, and setter. Oh, that sounds good. That's what I'm interested in. So I'm going to ask it to create getters and setters for me. I want to encapsulate it, which means I want to make these fields private and make them accessible. I don't want an outside class to be able to modify these properties without utilizing my getters or setters. So we're going to encapsulate those fields and click generate. Ba-boom. So it made them all private. Sweet. And it gave me public accessors and getters, setters, mutators, all of those things. Okay, so getters and setters are created for me. and I'm good to go. You're welcome. Pays to watch the videos, huh? Oh, Facebook's addressing me. Okay, so that all is well and good. So now we can create an animal class, and let's get our animal class to do something. I'm going to put my getters and setters below just to make it easier for us to see. Let's say that I'm going to create a public class. It's not going to return anything, and we're going to say hunts for food, and we will system.out.println. I'm hungry. Hungry, hunting for food now. Okay, because all animals of some type or another have to hunt for food. They all do it in different ways, but generically they all hunt for food. Okay, so that's looking good so far. If I run my animal should have access to hunts for food. Sure enough, hunts for food. And so now if we run it, it should print out build I am hungry. Oops, where did it go? Output, there it is. So in fact that ran. Okay, so let's make another class now that's going to be more specific of an animal. So in my projects, on my package, I'm going to right click and choose new Java class. And now let's create a specific animal. We're going to create a lion. Okay. And so now in our projects folder, we see a new class that was created. Let's see if I can put these side by side. So I'm going to make this one go away. We don't need to see that one. Let's see if we can't put these side by side. No, that's not quite what I was hoping to do. Let's see. What I was hoping to do was make it so I could see this one over to the side. Come on, I know you can do it. Okay, so I got them all side by side. I don't know why that was so difficult, but there we go. The idea was that I wanted you to be able to see the main and then the two classes all in one screen. Okay, so now we've created an animal class, and we've created this lion class, but we want lion to what we call extends animal. And the idea behind this is that by extending, lion is now a child or a subclass of animal, which means that lion has all of the properties and methods that animal does. So I don't have to redefine age in here. I don't have to write a local variable for age for the lion. The lion automatically receives the same properties and methods as the animal, but the opposite is not true. The animal doesn't have properties that are specific to the lion. The animal is more generic. So lion is not a subset of animal. It's actually an extension of. So it's larger. It has all of the things that animal has, plus things that are more specific to the lion. For example, like our fish doesn't have any, well, I guess a fish could have teeth, but most likely lions definitely have teeth. So we're going to give this lion int num teeth. So lion can still be an animal, but it's got also some more specific things that are just for the lion. So let's put some of this into action. Let's get a getter and setter for the teeth. So again, if I right click on that and choose insert code, I'm going to put a getter and setter in for number of teeth, encapsulate it. Okay, so now I'm good to go there. So let's put this into play. We printed out, let's see, let's run this again just so we remember. So we printed out animal and animal hunted for food. So we should see, yes, that the animal is hunting for food. Okay, great. But let's instantiate a lion. Lion, the lion equals new lion. Okay, and I guess we have to set the lion properties of his teeth. Set num teeth. There we go. Set num teeth, we'll give him, oh, I don't know, how many teeth does a lion have? Probably lots. I don't think, set it up as an int, so I can't put the word lots. Okay, and then maybe, does the lion have access to set age? Well, the lion doesn't have that method here within the lion class, but it inherits it because it is a child of the animal class. So we should have set age available to us. And we do. So we can set the age of the lion. Okay, it's a young lion. So can the lion also hunt for food? Well, it should be able to, because it's a child of animal. So this should be something it can do. We get the little red squiggly line, and it's because it can't find hunts for food. Well, that's because hunts for food should be capital. Okay, there we go. So this is just to demonstrate then that we can create an animal class that has just animal properties and methods. We can create a lion class that is a child or is extended from the animal class. So the lion has its own specific properties and methods, but it also inherits all of the animals. So let's just to verify, or just to prove the point. So we said then that animals shouldn't have access to teeth, for example. So let's verify that. So if I said the animal dot set num teeth, you can see that I'm not getting any of those methods that are specific to the lion. So animal doesn't inherit things from lion. It's a one-way direction. Lion will inherit everything from animal, but not the other direction. But the lion is more specific type of an animal. Let's get rid of our error. There we go. So now if we run this last bit of code, I should get 2 hungries, because both of those methods are being run from the animal. So this is the animal being hungry, and this is the lion being hungry, but they're both running the same method because lion is a child of animal. All right, so all is working well. We have this animal, whether it be a lion or an animal, is hunting for food, and it's printing out this method. Well, let's think about a lion. A lion is a little bit more ferocious than other animals, so maybe it won't say something nicely like, I am hungry, I'm hunting for food. Maybe it needs to say something a little bit more ferocious when it hunts for food, because it's kind of, tougher animal. So we're going to override the hunts for food method that's in the animal class. In other words, if we're a lion, we want to run a different hunts for food. And perhaps a lion would say something like more aggressive, like system.out.print line my num teeth are showing. I don't know. Okay. So now when, let's see, what am I? I've got a little red squiggly. Let's see what I'm missing here. System.out.println oh, I'm missing a concatenator. There we go. Okay. So now when the animal runs, the animal is going to run the hunts for food. When we get to the lion's hunts for food, because we've got a method that is exactly the same signature as our parent, this child method is going to run instead. So let's just verify that and make sure that it does do what I expected it to do. Sure enough, so there's a very gentle I'm hungry, and then of course the lion is a little bit more aggressive and says grrr. Okay, so let's also add the idea that I don't have to do this, but it is good to type in override. And what I'm doing is annotating, is what it's called, this method. What I'm doing is I'm telling the compiler it is my intention that this is intentionally overriding something in my parent class. And the idea behind that is because it's overriding, it has to have the exact same signature. So if I made a mistake, for example, and made for lowercase, for example, I should get an error because this is a valid method name, but because I'm overriding it, the compiler is trying to give me some kind of clue that, wait a minute, you're trying to override something that doesn't exist. So in other words, I've created an error. So it's a good way to help you avoid errors. It's not necessary and it'll run without it, but it makes you less prone to errors. Okay, let's try something else. When we want to refer to something, so let's look at this example here for hunts for food. I want to refer to this method that's in animal. In other words, when I run hunts for food, what I'm also going to do is I'm going to use this word called super. And super means just that. Look at the superclass above me and do something particular that I didn't already somehow have access to. So I'm going to say, when you run this overriding method, go look in the super's hunts for food method. So go look up here for the hunts for food, run that method, and then run whatever's left in this code. So now I'm running the I am hungry. So my lion will say, I am hungry, hunting for food, look at my 4 teeth, or whatever it is, as opposed to just I'm hungry if I was an animal. So super gives us a way to address something that's in our parent class. So now when we run, I'm going to comment out the animal one. So now when we run lion, it should run both lines of code. Run whatever in the animal, but add something extra because I'm a mean, ferocious lion. So just to make sure that we can see it, we'll just change this so I can verify that in fact that is working. So I'm going to run this again. And now you can see I am very hungry, hunting for food now, and there's the lion's method. So here's the super's method running, and here is the lion's method running. So super is a keyword that we use to, and we'll see this in a constructor coming up, but it's a way to get to our parent class. So that's the start of inheritance, and in the next video we'll take that the next step.